If you're a homeowner coming to the end of a fixed rate mortgage, you've probably been told one thing over and over again. You should remortgage as soon as your deal ends. In reality, that advice is only sometimes correct. And in 2026, it's more important than ever to understand when remortgaging actually makes sense and when it doesn't. In this video, I'm going to explain how remortgaging really works in the UK in 2026, what lenders look at when you apply, and the situations where switching is sensible, as well as the situations where staying put or waiting can be the better option. Quick note before we start. This is general information, not personal financial advice. Remortgage suitability depends on your individual circumstances and lender criteria at the time. Let's start with what remortgaging actually is. Remortgaging means replacing your existing mortgage deal, either with your current lender or by moving to a new one. People usually remortgage to secure a better rate, reduce monthly payments, fix their rate again, release equity, or change the mortgage structure. The first thing to check is timing. Most fixed rate mortgages come with early repayment charges, or ERCs if you leave the deal early. These charges can be significant, sometimes thousands of pounds. That means switching early isn't always worth it, even if the new rate looks better on paper. You need to compare the savings against the cost of leaving. If your fixed rate is ending, you'll usually move on to your lender's standard variable rate, or SVR, if you do nothing. SVRs are often higher and less competitive, which is why many people remortgage before or shortly after their deal ends. But again, this isn't automatic, it depends on your options. One big change people don't expect is affordability reassessment. When you remortgage to a new lender, you usually have to go through full affordability checks again. That means your income, commitments, credit profile, and bank statements are reassessed. If your circumstances have changed, for example, higher outgoings, reduced income, or new debts, your options may be more limited than before. This is where product transfers come in. A product transfer means switching to a new deal with your existing lender, often without full affordability checks. This can be a good option if your circumstances have changed or if you want a simpler process. The trade-off is that the rates available might not always be the most competitive on the market. Another reason people remortgage is to release equity. This might be for home improvements, consolidating debts, or other purposes. Releasing equity increases the mortgage balance, which increases long-term cost, so it needs careful thought. Lenders will still assess affordability on the higher loan amount, and the purpose of the funds may affect lender choice. Then there's the question of rate versus flexibility. Some remortgage deals look attractive because of low rates, but they come with high fees or restrictive early repayment charges. A slightly higher rate with lower fees or more flexibility can sometimes be better overall, especially if you expect to make changes in the future. It's also important to understand when not to remortgage. If early repayment charges outweigh the savings, if your circumstances mean you'd struggle to pass affordability checks, or if rates are likely to be similar once fees are considered, waiting can be sensible. Doing nothing temporarily isn't a failure, it's a decision. Let's use a simple example. Imagine your fixed rate ends in 3 months. You can secure a new deal now, ready to start when the current one ends. That gives certainty and avoids falling onto the SVR. Alternatively, if rates are volatile and your ERCs are still high, waiting a short period may give you more flexibility. There's rarely a one-size-fits-all answer. The key is to plan early. Looking at options 6 months before your deal ends gives you time to understand what's available, whether affordability is likely to be an issue, and whether staying with your current lender makes sense. Remortgaging isn't just about chasing the lowest rate. It's about balancing cost, flexibility, and your wider financial position. When that balance is right, remortgaging can be very effective. When it's wrong, it can be unnecessarily expensive. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more straight talk videos covering UK mortgages, remortgaging, and borrowing decisions. That wraps up this 6-part run, and future videos will continue breaking down common mortgage questions in plain English. Thanks for watching.